Welcome to the Math 1 Unit 2 study guide video for objective number 5. This is the last objective, the calculator inactive. So if you've got that calculator out, go ahead and put it away. So some of these questions are going to be a review from the old times. This here is a literal equation. It wants us to take that trapezoid formula we had for finding the area and solve it for B1. Okay? Step 1, locate the variable that you're trying to solve for. This is not telling us we have 1b here and 2b's there. We add them together and we get 3b's. That's not what this means. B1 is a specific variable, kind of like h is its own variable, and you wouldn't combine h and b together, just like you're not going to combine b1 and b2 together. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to figure out what has been happening to b. Okay? Well, first thing it did, if you follow the order of operations, is you would add b2 to it. So you've added b2. Then what happened? You've multiplied it by h. And then you've also multiplied it by 1/2. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of these things in the order. So this is how it came on. We're going to pull them off in the opposite order. Just kind of like you'd put your shoe on, or put your sock on, put your shoe on, tie it, and then you'd reverse that order to take it off. You'd untie your shoe, take your shoe off, take your sock off. Okay? So this is the same kind of thing. What's the opposite of multiplying by 1/2? It'd be like dividing by 1/2 or multiplying by 2. Okay? So what we're going to do first is we're going to multiply both sides by 2. Okay? 2 times a is 2a. And that equals, and then 2 times 1/2, well, it's 2 over 1. You get 2 times 1 times 2. 2 times 1 is 2, over 1 times 2, which is 2. 2 over 2 gives you 1. 1 times h is h. And then b1 plus b2 still. Okay? The next thing we have is we're multiplying by h. How do you get rid of multiplying by h? You would divide by h. So we're going to divide by h here, and we're going to divide by h here. 2a divided by h is 2a divided by h. H divided by h is 1. 1 times b1 plus b2 is b1 plus b2. Lastly, we're adding b2, so how do you get rid of adding b2? You're going to subtract b2. So I'm going to subtract b2 from both sides. And so what this says is 2a divided by h minus b2. Sorry. And so you'll get, and I'm going to come over here because we're running out of room, 2a over h minus b2 equals b1. And that's your final answer. Okay? Next question. Question 18. The perimeter of an isosceles triangle is 80 units. The legs are 10 less than twice the base. Find the length of each leg. Okay? So, some people say that it gets confusing. So you have an isosceles triangle. It says the perimeter, that's denoted by P, so I'm going to change that to a P here, of an isosceles triangle, which means this side and this side are equal, is 80. It says the legs, which are this side and this side, are 10 less than twice the base. So this is the base, which is B, okay? And these are 10 less than twice that. So you would do 2 times B minus 10 for each of these. Okay? Now find the length of each leg. Okay? So if we did the perimeter, we also know the perimeter, which is adding all the sides. So if we add all the sides up, you get 2b minus 10 plus 2b minus 10 plus the base at the bottom. That would equal 80. So you got 2b plus 2b plus b. That's 5b's. Negative 10 minus 10 is negative 20. And that equals 80. So now we're going to add 20 to both sides. That gives you 0 here, which is 5b plus 0, which is 5b, equals 80 plus 20, which is 100. You're going to divide by 5, divide by 5. 1 times b is b, and then 100 divided by 5 is 20. So now it says find the length of each leg. Well, b isn't our leg, b is our base. So what we have to do is we take that and plug that in right there for these b's. And so you get 2 times 20 minus 10. 2 times 20 is 40 minus 10 equals 30. Okay? And so now we go back and we check, and then you'll get 30 plus 30 and then 20. Okay? So 30 plus 30 plus 20 is 60 plus 20, which is 80. And if you look back, what was the perimeter again? 80. So we know we did it right. You always need to check. Number 19, the consecutive integers question. Your favorite. So find the middle of 3. So find the middle. That's a key thing. Refer back to that later on. Okay? Find the middle of 3 consecutive odd integers. Odd. Okay, it's going to be a keyword. Sum is add. 3 times the smallest. And 5 more than twice the largest. Okay? So let's go ahead and figure out consecutive odd integers. So you have 2 types. You have x, x plus 1, and x plus 2. Or you have x, x plus 2, and x plus 4. Odd means we use this kind right here. So we have x, x plus 2, and x plus 4. Because we want every other number. So if this is the one number, you go one number more, that's not odd, that's even. Go another number, that's the next odd. So you have to go 2 numbers to get to the next odd. Okay? For example, if we did a mini example, that's 3. 3 plus 2 is 5. 7. So see how it gives you the odds? And if you did 3 here, it'd be 3, 4, 5. So which one gave you only the odd numbers? It'd be this one. Okay? So that's why we use this versus that. Okay? So now, it says such that sum of 3 times, so that means 3 times the smallest. This one's the smallest, x. So it's 3 times x. And we're adding, so that means and is the plus. 5 more, which means adding again, then what? Twice the largest. Well, the largest is x plus 4. So we have 5 more than, which means we're adding 5 to 2 times the largest, which is x plus 4. So now we, and it says is, which means equals 48. So now let's take all that stuff and combine it together. So we're adding what? The 3x. 3 times x is 3x. And, which is our adding. I guess we can do that in blue. We're adding 2 or twice the largest. So 2 times x plus 4 plus 5. Because that's 5 more than that. Okay? Is means equals 48. So this is our formula or our equation. Now you just forget about everything else. Solve this equation. Okay? So first you would distribute. And you get 2, so it's a positive 2. You get positive 2x times positive 8, plus positive 8. Okay? Bring down everything else. 3x will come down, the plus 5 will come down, and then we'll still equal 48. So then you combine like terms. You got 3x's and 2x's. 3x's plus 2x's is 5x's. You have 8 plus 5 is positive 13 equals 48. Well, now it's a two-step equation, so you're going to subtract the 13. So you get 5x equals, and that's 0 by the way, 48 minus 13 is 35. Divide by 5, and x will equal 7. Okay, now I circled it, but that doesn't mean that's my answer, because it says find the middle of the 3 consecutive odd integers. So x is 7, the next one is 9, and the next one is 11. 9 is my middle integer, so you say 9 is the big answer. Okay? Okay? And the last question everybody seemed to be trying to get wrong when we took it in the last test, for one main reason. And this will be more beneficial because we learned in our notes that terms are separated by pluses and minuses. Okay? So if you want to know what my variable term is, right now, this is one term, because all of this is over the radical, the divider, okay, or the fraction bar, and then it's separated by a subtraction sign from the 2. So this is very much the same as 6x minus 2 equals 7. Now what would you do first here? You would get rid of the minus 2 by adding 2, right? Well, that same process happens here. Okay? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add 2 to both sides. And so the negative 2x minus 1 all over 3 will come down. We didn't multiply or divide by a negative, so the sign stays the same. And 7 plus 2 is 9. Okay? So now we look at this, and we have this divide thing. The thing that most people got it wrong because they wanted to get rid of the divide first. We now have the divide that we can get rid of, which is times in 3 to both sides. 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 1 times negative 2x minus 1 is negative 2x minus 1. We multiplied to both sides, but if you'll note that this purple 3 is a positive, so the sign stays the same. And then 9 times 3 is 27. Okay? Well, now we're just like we were up here. We have to subtract 1 that we need to get rid of, so we'll add 1 to both sides. Negative 1 plus 1 is 0. Negative 2x plus 0 is negative 2x. We didn't multiply or divide by negative to both sides, so we keep the sign. And then we get 28. Now we're going to divide by a negative 2. Negative 2 divided by negative 2 is positive 1. So we get an x. And then 28 divided by negative 2 is negative 14. And notice how we divided by negative. We change the sign. Okay? So our final answer becomes x is greater than negative 14. Okay? That means our answer actually is negative 14 and everything that's bigger than that, such as negative 13, negative 12, all the way to 15, 20, 2,483, infinity. Okay? Everything that's bigger than negative 14 is an answer. This concludes our Unit 2 study guide videos. So please study, look over them again, keep practicing, practice any of the worksheets that I have online. Go find stuff online, go find YouTube videos, anything else in addition to this to study. Make sure you pass this test. Have a good night.